committee has a backlog that need to be cleared. With my experience, with my professional and academic experience in finance, I believe that I'll be able to add value to this committee and fast track the backlog and reduce the backlog. Honorable Speaker, I know this country has invested a lot in a number of agencies. And the feedback that need to come out from these agencies can only come through the audited accounts. So, Honorable Chair, I want again to say thank you to the leadership of this House also.
You are addressing the Speaker, not the Chair.
Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Yes.
Honorable Speaker, I want also to say thank you to the leadership of this House for also considering us, because in one way or another, they contributed to us being chairs and vice chairs. And to my colleagues who have been elected as chairs and vice chairs of various committees. It is our responsibility, as the Speaker has already pronounced. We need to be present in these committees so that we execute the matters of our respective committees. Thank you, Chair. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Sabina.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker. I want to take this opportunity to congratulate the members who have gotten the position to lead as chairs and vice chairs. Having been a chair for 2 terms, Mr. Speaker, I just want to urge my colleagues that this is a huge responsibility bestowed onto you. It is important, Mr. Speaker, for the chairs to take the committee work very seriously. A lot of work is done at the committee, and sometimes, Mr. Speaker, what comes here on the floor, sometimes members vote even without understanding the concept or the content. So it's upon the chairs and vice chairs to make sure that when a subject comes in, and especially I want just to quote what my colleague was saying about the finance bill. I think last time there was a lot of politics that played in between. And Mr. Speaker, out of this House, then Kenyans really took offense with the finance bill. So I hope, Mr. Speaker, as now we have come to the second half of the term of our tenure, that will be objective, Mr. Speaker, that we are going to make sure that we communicate well to the public. This is a position that also comes with a lot of responsibility. We saw our colleagues, and I just want to say, sorry to the Chair of Finance, whose even house had to be banned for a responsibility that he took as being a chair of the Finance Committee. So sometimes you'll have to take huge responsibilities. And I also want to urge them, when the government officials comes in, whether it's PSs or CSs, let us not be cozy with them. Let us push them, because our role is oversight. Once we allocate finances to them, let us also make sure that we follow up on how they are using these finances. We have some PSs who allocate finances as they wish. Mr. Speaker, it is good that we play our oversight role very well so that we make sure this government is about broad-based. At the committee level, that's where we are able to allocate the finances to the projects that Mwananchi, the person on the ground, will feel that the government is concerned. And that is maybe what Honorable was saying about serving Kenyans. We are all serving Kenyans. Congratulations to the new team. Put your best foot forward, because we are on half term now. We need to redeem. And Mr. Speaker, just as I finish, let us also not cast aspersions or accuse our own colleagues, because what happens to your colleague today, it can happen to you tomorrow. We know chairs are their positions. I have been a chair, Mr. Speaker, and I've said that. A lot of these colleagues will approach you and come and tell you, help us on this, or call so and so on my behalf. So when the chairs offer themselves, and I am very sure, and unfortunately allow me, because I come from Oranga County, to speak about Honorable Ndindi, who was the chair of Budget Committee. He assisted very many members here. But when his time came, the same members, Mr. Speaker, were there casting aspersions and trying to show like Ndindi was favoring himself. Please let's remember the small deeds that our colleagues help us to do as their role, because they are that privileged position. And let us not accuse each other, because you never know. I want to personally congratulate Honorable Nikal. I served with him at the Health Committee. He has gone through all the ranks in the Health Ministry. And I'm very sure, Honorable Nikal, even as I move my bill, my motion, that you'll be of good help to give insights that we have very, very, very good public hospitals. You know, At our tenure in the Health Committee, we have a fantastic facility called Kenyatta University Referral Hospital that is better, Mr. Speaker, than any other private facility in East and Central Africa. But even majority of my colleagues don't know about it, Mr. Speaker. It is a state-of-art facility with more than 300 bed capacity, which has a capacity of 600 bed capacity. And that facility, Mr. Speaker, we do not even need to use any private facility. We can go to KU, give back the money to the public, where we can be able to have enhanced medical care. So, Mr. Speaker, as I congratulate my colleagues, remember it as a responsibility. Let us not babysit these PSAs and CSAs. Let us push them so that we can be able to push and work for Kenyans for the rest of remaining few months. Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for the opportunity.
Kimani.
Honorable Speaker, I want to thank you for this opportunity, and as we congratulate the new chairs, it's also congratulate you, Mr. Speaker. As the chairperson of the Parliamentary Service Commission, we've seen a great change in the running of the affairs of this Parliament. We have seen a lot of change even in the environment in which we work, because we're here most of the time. So I think it's very important that we congratulate you for the good work that you continue to do for this August House, for your fairness and magnanimity in the decisions and the rulings that you make in this House. Honorable Speaker, the Honorable Sabina Chege talks about the incidents of last year during the finance bill. As we move forward as a House, I would really urge us to be very sober when we are having these conversations, whether in the House or outside there. Honorable Speaker, the events of last year, August, left some of our families completely devastated. Some of us, the personal losses we took, will take a very long time to recover. But Honorable Speaker, everyone in this House knows that the final document that was approved by this House was a very good bill, and that is why when those amendments were brought again in December, this Honorable House passed through the same finance bill that we passed here through the 4 different pieces of law that we brought in this House. So I want to urge us, irrespective of whichever political directions we will take moving forward, because the political formations could even change as we go towards the election. Let us be honest to ourselves. Let us be honest to our people. Let us be honest to our nation. And let us just make statements or inside the public for things that you know, for example, they are completely a lie. So I want to urge us that we really move forward together. For the new departmental chairs, Honorable Speaker, there is a matter before the Finance and Planning Committee on the non-remittance of pensions for pensioners. Honorable Speaker, we have more than 64 billion shillings that is owed to pensioners, and these are from especially the water agencies, the universities, and many other state agencies, Honorable Speaker. These accounting officers are remitting salaries to the employees. They deduct pension, but they don't remit that pension to the pension fund. And therefore, we're having people who dedicate very many years of their service for this republic, only for them to go to retirement, and there is no money for their pension. So I want to urge us in all the committees that you seek, especially as we'll be coming to discuss the appropriations bill and the estimates, let us make sure that our entities do, especially the disbursement of pension funds, so that when people retire, they have their pensions ready. Thank you, Honorable Speaker.
Richard Diagon.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. I would also like to take this opportunity to congratulate those who have been elected as chairs and the vice chairs of various committees. And I would like to also urge and request all those who have been elected to fairly distribute all what has been put in the budgets and all those things we have been planning in the committees to make sure that everything has been balanced across the country. Because most of the time, there are some committees whereby when we talked about and we talk about planning and all these things which benefits all of us, you find they're skewed towards a given area. And we want all this to the chairs and the vice chairs to make sure that this has been acted fairly to benefit all of us. I want to wish everybody that may God guide us, and thank all the the head of state and the leader of ODM, Raila Odinga, for bringing also this country to calmness after the issues we witnessed last year. And going forward, I think this is how the country should behave instead of having a lot of squabbles when we start a government and people start pulling on another direction and talking of a given area. Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker.
Mario. Then
Thank you.
we'll close with Koyo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for this opportunity.
Yes.
I want to congratulate the chairs and the deputies who have been elected in this remaining term of Parliament, and also want to thank those who have been there for the other term which has passed, because they carried their mandate well, and also to tell them to be able to do better where they have been placed, even if you have not been given a chair, but you have been sent to a committee where your input is required. I want to thank especially the chair from Independent, who has been elevated to be a chair, and because I'm a member of the Independent Caucus, we are so grateful that she was able to be elected, and also we have also a vice chair who is also independent. So the House is well balanced, and also we want to thank the broad-based government for bringing calm in this country so that we can be able to work together, because two cannot work together unless they agree. And now because we are agreeing, I'm sure we are going to do a lot of development for the remaining part of this Parliament, and many developments will come along the way. Many bills will be passed, because no more arguments, because we are working in harmony. For those real remarks, I congratulate them. Thank you, Speaker.
Mohoroni.
Thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for recognizing me on the onset. I want to take this opportunity also to thank and congratulate my colleagues who are able to be elected in various positions of vice chairman and vice chairman. And in my experience in this House, I have learned that the committees become more visible and more successful when they have serious and mature leadership, people who emulate, bring a lot of cohesion across the board, and they consult here and there. And many of those who are elected, I have seen very serious people who are all the times in Parliament and all the times engaged in debates, like my friend Dr. Nyikal. I wish to congratulate him, and I only hope that he will have a good cohesion within the members that elected him. To my regret, Honorable Speaker, is I belong to a committee chaired by yours truly, Speaker, called Powers and Privileges Committee. I have been astounded as to whether this is a punishment point where people who have differed or people who are supposed to be concerned for some kind of punishment are pushed there, because it's so inactive, so
Which
moribund.
committee?
Powers and Privileges Committee.
Yes.
So that there are really no activities taking place. And yet it is my point of destination. Every circle of Parliament I am pushed there, and because I am loyal to the party, I go there without complaining. Year in, year out, no activity. We don't even go outside for, like, in the last Parliament, we were able to go out for some engagement. And since the year began, we have not done anything. And I only hope that this time we will improve a bit, and that will grow enthusiasm. Otherwise, thank you very much, Honorable Speaker, for giving me the opportunity without a card.
Polo.
Thank you, Mr. Speaker, for giving me this opportunity. And on the onset, let me join my colleagues in congratulating the chairs and vice chairs of various committees. And in exception, Mr. Speaker, I'm really very happy that I hear people complaining about their committees. But right now, I'm very proud that even in this House, I have both my chairs, Kuria Kimani right here, and Fatuma full network. And their commitment in our committees I take exception of Kuria Kimani, who really, when we have committee meetings, he can sit from morning to evening. I sometimes even wonder when he goes to receive the call of nature, because I don't see him even standing up. So he's given a lot of commitment to the committee, and I urge all chairpersons to give that same commitment, and actually also understanding his work. So when the Honorable Sabina talked about the unfortunate incidents that happened to him because of the finance bill, I also regret that fact, because he took a lot of his time, him being a CPA, to actually analyze and put on toes also all the stakeholders who are coming to bring their proposals. And in the final draft, I believe it was a very good one, because I'm also part of the committee members. So it was so unfortunate, and on behalf of all of us and the members, it was unfortunate that he had to pass what he underwent. So, Pole, Chair. Let me also congratulate our principals, Mr. Speaker, for uniting Kenya, and at least we can now see new faces in leadership. I've always been admiring Dr. Nyikal, the way he presents himself in Parliament and the commitment he has given. And I usually pray that when I grow old, I would really want to be like, like Dr. When I grow up, I would like to be like Dr. Nyikal. And again, it has given opportunity. I'm surprised we're in the same committee with Dr. Rico, who also gives a lot of commitment to our committee, and now he's a vice chair, or is he a chair? I don't know what he said he is in the other committee, vice chair. So this unity seems to be very strong. He used to be a critic, and today I'm happy that he has mentioned Dr. William Samoei Ruto's name very positively for the very first time. So thank you so much. So I can see that this country is moving forward. Thank you so much for the opportunity.
Mogaka.
Thank you very much, Mr. Speaker. May I also add my voice of congratulations to those of our colleagues who have been appointed to leadership. And I also encourage them that let them make this House, the 13th Parliament, recapture the pride that those of us who have gone to school deserve. In particular, Mr. Speaker, I want to thank the ODM or the minority for finding place for Honorable Irene Mayaka as chair. She hails from my constituency, and she reminds me that my constituency of West Mogrango is always a first for women, because under the old constitution, the only other woman who stepped in Parliament under the previous constitution was Honorable Catherine Nyamato, also from West Mogrango constituency. So I'm urging chairs that if you have a project of funding to channel, just look at West Mogrango, because that is a very fertile ground and we are very gender friendly. And to Dr. Nyikal, I congratulate you. You are an epitome of a parliamentary success.